The man of the hour.
Who's that?
Who's that? The man of the century. Shutting down bridges, opening up doors. Overbrook Entertainment's own Will Smith. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
Oh, man. Thank you, Councilman. Oh, man. Mayor Sherelle Parker. Wow, this is amazing. This is amazing. Where's Philly at? Where's Philly at? I walked across this bridge for my whole high school career in snow and rain. And I grew up at 59th and Woodcrest in Winfield. So I was coming from Winfield. So, you know, I was walking over, but I was running back, you know. You know, fortunately, the front of the school was just in the hilltop, so you can get back over the bridge, get back home, walk once you got on the other side, you know. But, you know, to have Will Smith Way touching in the hilltop, I'm like, yeah. You know, it was interesting when I heard the name. It was Will Smith Way. So I started saying to myself, well, what does that mean? Like, what is the Will Smith Way? And I thought about that, and when I thought about the Will Smith Way, I thought about my mother, my father, and my grandmother. And my mother is still here with me today, and my mom is here. And when I thought about the Will Smith Way, the Will Smith Way is encompassed in the lessons that I got from my father, my mother, and my grandmother. And I think about them as a triangle that represents the Will Smith Way. And I think about my father as the base of the triangle. And right at 56 in Arlington, just on the other side of the bridge, is where my father taught me that you don't get anything without discipline and hard work. You can't make a life if you're not willing to sacrifice and you're not willing to suffer and work for your dreams. And we sold ice at Acrack Ice from 56 in Arlington. And when other kids were you know, you got to have a summer off, soon as school was out, because we sold ice, I was right to work delivering ice all summer. So I see the base of that triangle, the Will Smith Way, has to be discipline. When things get hard, you have to be willing to suffer to change the circumstances. Nobody gets an easy ride, you know. And that was one of the things these streets of Philadelphia taught me, that there is nothing wrong with a hard day's work. And I want to salute everybody on this stage. The people on this stage represent people who are not scared to suffer for what they believe in. They are not scared of discipline. They are not scared of hard work. So I salute you all. The second side of the triangle is my mother. And my mother represented for me education. My mother would say to me all the time, they can't take what's in your head, baby. They can take everything from you except what's in there. And my mother was serious about education that we had to learn. I wasn't allowed to say, like, y'all or ain't. I remember one time I was running out of the house. And I screamed to my friends. I was like, hey, where y'all gonna be at? And my mother was like, come on back in here. I hope they gonna be behind that preposition. I'm back in the house and I'm crying and my grandmother's like, a yawl is a boat, baby. You know, so my mother was very, very serious about education and understanding that my mind was going to be my key to my dreams. That the study and the work and the education was going to be the key to my dreams. And then the third side of that triangle is my grandmother, my Gigi. And right down at Resurrection Baptist Church on 54th Street, my grandmother, she was that grandmother, she'd be at the church on Tuesday. Like, she was that grandmother. And, you know, Jesus is home girl. And my grandmother represented the love of God shown in the love for your brothers and sisters of the world. And she showed how every single moment your life has to be in service to somebody else. Even when we didn't have nothing, she was giving it away. She was like, she lived completely in service. And I remember one day she brought a homeless lady into the house, and she was washing, like Miss Clara. Oh, it's my sister Ellen. Yeah, Miss Clara. Remember, she brought Miss Clara in the house, and she washed a homeless woman in the tub and gave her clothes and fed her and all of that. And I was sitting and I was looking, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm never getting in that bathtub again. But a deeper lesson came later. A deeper lesson. A deeper lesson, you know, it was the understanding that the only thing that is ever gonna make this bearable, all of the problems, all of the difficulty, the only thing that's gonna make it bearable is we have to figure out how to love each other, y'all. We have to figure out how to help each other. We have to figure out how to care for each other. And, you know, when people come out and they look and they see the Will Smith way, I hope that they will reflect and we will reflect. Even me sometimes, I don't get it right. I don't get it right all the time, for sure. You know, don't get it right all the time. But, you know, I would love to say, whereas Mayor Sherelle Parker has declared that the city of Philadelphia on July 4th, I will certainly be here myself. And whereas I'm of the Roots, I don't own him, but I certainly will make the phone call. Certainly will. And whereas Jill Scott is in my Rolodex, I will certainly reach out to Jill. And in my contacts, I will certainly contact. Whereas Meek Mill and I are friends, I will certainly reach out to Meek. And yeah, Music Soul Child. So yeah, so we will definitely, I will do my part to try to make it happen. And Kevin Hart, absolutely. Kevin Hart, yes, yeah, yes. So hey, Philly, you have. I want to say you know, one word. Where's Miss Brown? So Miss Brown right here. Miss Brown, Brenda Brown, was my first teacher in 10th grade when I walked through these doors. And Miss Brown's about 5 feet tall, and she used to walk up in my chest, and she would be like, and Miss Brown was the teacher who started calling me Prince Charming. The name The Fresh Prince was coined in that building, and Miss Brown was the teacher that made me, she called me Prince, and I added the Fresh because it was hip hop slang. So The Fresh Prince, so thank you for that, Miss Brown. Thank you for coming out today. Hey, her father, Miss Brown's father. You knew Miss. I knew Miss Brown's father. Yes, right. No, 1977. All right. Ricky Brown. That is amazing. So, hey, Philly, I love you. I am yours. You are mine. I will see you on the 4th of July.